four sides.
Hello and welcome, Grand Rapids. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm your anchor, Josie Sabo.
And I'm your other anchor, Sean Francis. And because we're just going to keep on going back and forth on this whole full spring back into winter thing, aren't we? We got to latch onto some normalcy, so we have gathered up the local, national, and world stories that you may have missed. No fooling.
You're welcome, Grand Rapids. This is
NewsFlash. Dong ding, tomorrow is Fat Tuesday, and while for most people that means punchkis, parades, and passing out beads and bad decisions, for one former president it means a big fat lie was never even actually believed by the people who he thought was on his side. A newly released court document reveals that several of Fox News' biggest stars, Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham, and even CEO Rupert Murdoch himself, privately trashed Trump's election fraud claims, even as the channel continued to report on it as if it were true. Private texts revealed that they were saying things like, "Donnie's a big dum-dum." Did you hear that Fashion Mistake in Chief got his hair done at the place that they botched Giuliani's hair dye? Never seen a rich guy with such a tiny, teeny, itsy-bitsy, microscopic fleet of limousines. Can you believe we all still paid millions of dollars? All of us are still paid millions of dollars to perpetuate the beliefs of not one but two insane narcissists and caused a most likely irreparable rift in our country in the name of a culture war based on bullshit? Just kidding, they're not that self-aware. In the ultimate irony, this break has caused the Donald to finally admit what all of us knew to be true for so long, that Fox News is the phoniest of phonies, ignorant bullies who only spew garbage. And let's say it all together, folks. Fake news! Finally, we're right for once.
Last week, Detroit was announced as the winner of a U.S. Today readers poll of the top 10 riverwalks in the country, with the International Riverwalk beating out Tampa Bay and Louisville, among others. Yeah! When asked what they're going to do now that they've won, the Riverwalk said, "Certainly nothing about Flint. That's not how trickle-down works."
Mars Wrigley was fined over $14,000 after an incident in their Pennsylvania factory, which is known for making M&Ms and Dove chocolates. The two workers who fell into a waist-high vat were rescued by firefighters who had to cut a hole in the chocolate vat to get them out. The workers were not injured, but they were highly offended when Maya Rudolph showed up and started singing, "Hoompa, hoompa, doopa-dee-dee, your M&M's to New Spokes candies. Hoompa, hoompa, doopa-dee-doo, Tucker Carlson will criticize you."
Good job, Sean.
I didn't write it.
A thrift store in Hudsonville was in possession of a rare vintage sweater that was popularized by Kitty Foreman in That 70s Show. The sweater went viral, and bidders from around the world offered undisclosed amounts of money to snag it. Meanwhile, the Salvation Army on Alpine is just hoping they don't get canceled for their overstock of Bill Cosby sweaters.
The Pez Outlaw, a documentary about a man from DeWitt, Michigan, was released last month, and it shot to the top of Netflix's most watched list. The film centers around Steve Glue, who found a way to make a lot of money selling knockoff Pez dispensers in the US that he snuck in from Europe. As with many documentaries, a bit of creative license was taken in the editing process, specifically the Pablo Escobar-inspired shootout scene. Turns out that chalky candy is good for something, though. Ammo.
Subway has announced they will not be using pre-sliced meats anymore, and instead are opting for machines that will cut the meat in-store for maximum freshness. The machines will be placed in front of the sandwich creation station so customers can increase their awkward eye contact time with their sandwich artist.
Last week, Zoom announced plans to cut about 1,300 workers, or about 15% of its workforce. So I guess this is how the pandemic ends, not with a bang, but with Zoom dropping the call. Most of the employees are expected to just switch to Microsoft Teams instead. When reached for comment, CEO Eric Yon had this to say,
Try turning your webcam off, Sean.
You're fired.
Customs found the skull of a young dolphin in a piece of luggage at the Detroit Metro Airport last week after it was separated from its owner on an incoming international flight. Authorities are looking for this passenger.